Hey, customers, welcome back to another episode of Fast Film where we cover all the news and reviews just for yous. This week we're doing to October 9th, so let's get started with some trailers. First one's going to be Silent Night. That's John Woo's new movie starring Joel Kinnaman. So in this trailer, we see his son and him are shot in a drive-by. Like they're just in the wrong place, wrong time. He gets shot in the throat, so he can't talk anymore. I mean, the whole trailer is pretty silent. His whole plan is he's just going to get revenge on all these gangsters on Christmas Eve. I mean, it looks like an awesome action movie. I'm going to go check it out. It's going to be coming to theaters on December 1st.
It kinda sounds like that movie Mute that's on Netflix, like
Yeah,
the
kind
limo
of.
driver.
Yeah.
But so in the movie Beekeeper, Jason Statham is, well, a beekeeper. After an old lady who is his friend as well gets scammed for all her money, she ends up unaliving herself. And Jason ain't happy with that shit. He goes to the company office and blows it up, just completely attacks everyone and blows it up. Turns out the company is a lot bigger than he expected. They're like way more into other shit than what he thought was just scamming. But the crazy thing too is he's not just a beekeeper. He's a former operative from a powerful organization known as the Beekeepers. This looks to be like a dumbass action movie, but I'm totally down for it. I like stupid action movies. The trailer does show how he kills one of the main bad guys in it. So it's a little minor spoiler in there, but it does look pretty cool how he kills him. But I swear to God, Jason always wears the same clothes. I swear he's always wearing like a workman's jacket with just a blank hat. That's always what he wears. But this one's going to be out on January 12th.
So there was another trailer for Angus Cloud in this movie called Your Lucky Day. He's playing this character named Sterling, who happens to be in a convenience store when another customer realizes they won $156 million jackpot. He instantly pulls out a gun, steals the ticket, but when a cop comes in, he ends up murdering the cop and the man who had the ticket. So of course, there's other customers in the convenience store, so they all kind of team up, like in exchange for the money. I mean, it's a massive jackpot. They're going to work together and like kind of try to cover up the crime. I mean, it looks really intense. Looks like it could be a really great story. I'm going to check it out. It's going to be in theaters on November 10th.
Isn't he the guy that just passed away recently too?
He is. He was on like six different kinds of drugs.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to party with him or not.
Well, you can't anymore. It's too
No,
late.
not anymore. In heaven, I could. But Bloomhouse released a trailer for the new film Night Swim, which is based on a short film with the same name and also has the same writers and directors. A family buys a house that's a fixer-upper, and they also have a pool in the backyard, but it needs some work, so they end up fixing it up. And the daughter goes swimming one night with a friend, and the friend disappears while they're playing Marco Polo. As she says Marco, a demonic voice just replies back to her saying Polo and grabs her. It looks dope. I can't wait for this one. No release date as of yet for it, though.
Okay. Then we got a trailer for Priscilla, which is like this new movie about Priscilla and Elvis Presley and their relationship. I mean, they are not making Elvis look like a good guy in this. They're really showing off that he was kind of a fucking groomer. They started dating when she was 14 and he was 24. Sophia Coppola is definitely not straying away from showing how messed up this really is. That's going to be coming to theaters on November 3rd.
It's a little fucked up.
It's definitely. And then for headlines this week, we got a little bit of news about the prequel from Fury Road, Furiosa. Looks like they're going to be trying to premiere it at Cannes Film Festival next year. So hopefully that means we'll get it at some point next year as well for like the regular public. I mean, Mad Max Fury Road was really good, and Charlize Theron was awesome as Furiosa. So I'm interested to see Anya Taylor-Joy play her going
Mad Max
forward.
Fury Road was sick.
Yeah.
I love that movie. But at the Collider's 10th anniversary IMAX 3D screening of Pacific Rim, director Guillermo del Toro was in attendance for a Q&A and spoke about how they're working on Frankenstein. Now, he has spoken about this before and even mentioned before the cast, including so far is Mia Goth, Andrew Garfield, and Oscar Isaac. But he also mentioned a new cast member that hadn't been mentioned before. Christoph Waltz has joined the A-list crew, and I couldn't be more excited. Christoph Waltz is great. Guillermo del Toro is great. Frankenstein's dope. Can't wait to see what they do with this.
Is he going to be playing the monster because he's got that same shaped head?
Would be kind of cool to see him do it, but I
Yeah.
don't think they've even announced who's playing who yet.
Yeah. So we got some pictures of Angelina Jolie in her new role, which is her first live action role since 2021. She's playing the singer Maria Callas in a biopic directed by Pablo Laron, I think that's how you say it. The director is also known for Spencer and Jackie, which are two other biopics on influential women. Both those biopics got their lead actresses nominated for Academy Awards, so I'm sure that's why Angelina Jolie bid on a project with this guy and to do another biopic. I mean, typical biopic stuff, they always get nominated for Academy Awards, so we'll probably end up having to watch this one when it comes to Oscar season next year.
CD Projekt Red, the makers of the Witcher series, and recently Cyberpunk 2077, announced that they are working with Anonymous Content to bring Cyberpunk to live action. So, Anonymous Content is a media company behind shows such as True Detective, Mr. Robot, and films like The Revenant. Now, no word on if it's either going to be a film or if it's going to be a series, but that they are working on trying to find a screenwriter to bring a brand new story to the world of Cyberpunk 27. I can't wait for this. I played the game. It did have a shit release date, but we'll see. I hopefully they don't fuck this one up. But we do have reviews for you guys. Let's check it out.
I've heard the game got a lot better, and like the new
They
one
did.
is supposed to be good too. The DLC.
Yeah, they did a patch, and apparently it's a lot fucking better now, which I got to check out.
Yeah. Then, like you're saying for reviews, I covered the animation domination, which is always what they call Fox's Sunday night like animation block that they do. So normally it's got the staples of The Simpsons, Family Guy, and Bob's Burgers. I mean, those shows have been on for ever now. I mean, even Bob's Burgers is on like season 13 or something. So those shows, if you like those, you're gonna keep liking them. They're still the same quality they always been. They did add a new show which is called Crapopolis, which is by Dan Harmon, and it is not good. I mean, it's just set in like ancient Greece, and there's like ancient gods, and there's some creatures, and it's just not good, man. I don't know. I think he made two good shows in his whole career. Community's awesome, and Rick and Morty, of course. But it's just I feel like Fox always has a hard time finding the fourth show to throw in this block, and they had American Dad, which was doing okay. Then they decided to cancel it, and then that got picked up by TBS, and it's still been going on for like another 10 seasons or something crazy. So I don't know. It's hard to follow around those other three shows that have been around forever. But so those just get the same usual. They're good or all right, just depending on if you like them. And Crapopolis is a nope from me.
Wasn't Cleveland show one of the like the fourth one before?
Cleveland Show was one of them. The Great North was, I think, the last one they did. They did something with dogs was another one. There's always like some new fourth one that they try that's just
And it just
not
doesn't hit.
good. Yeah, like it never hits.
Yeah. But Sophia Wilde stars in a new Netflix show, Everything Now. Sophia is a new upcoming actress after starring in Talk to Me, which I absolutely love, but I can't say the same about Everything Now. Oddly enough, in Everything Now and in Talk to Me, she plays a girl named Mia in both films. But Everything Now is about Mia being released from the hospital after 7 months of fighting anorexia. She meets her friends again and finds out they have lived life like while she's been gone. They've done drugs, they lost their virginities, they're going to parties and drinking, just doing some crazy teenage shit. So she's been wanting to catch up. She wants to catch up now that she's out. She's realized that she kind of missed everything out. She's kind of having FOMO a bit. But this show is not good. I couldn't do it. This is like a teeny popper show I couldn't really deal with, especially after they had her and her friend kiss multiple times and they're fucking 16. This is fucking weird. I couldn't do it. This is a note from me. I feel like I've never seen Euphoria, but I feel like this is just a more tamed and teen version of it. Just no.
It's Euphoria light.
Yeah.
So we got the first episode of the new season of Loki this week, and man, I love this show. The first season was awesome. It's probably by far the best Marvel Disney show that's been made. This one takes place right after the first season ends. We have Loki who's now like stuck skipping back and forth through time to a time before Kang and like back to the normal present day. So he's even affecting what's going on in the modern day now while when he goes back in time. We got the addition of Ki-Hu Kwan. He's playing a character named Obi. Um, Even though he's such a likable actor, I really like as a deep prediction, I'm pretty sure he's going to be a bad guy. He's got to be working with Kang or something. If you haven't been keeping up with any of the Marvel stuff and you don't even know who Loki is, I mean, this isn't going to make any sense to you, so don't waste your time. But if you watch the first season of Loki, you're going to like this show. It's still doing a great job. Can't wait for a couple more days to watch episode 2. It's definitely getting a dope from me.
I'm excited to watch this one. I totally forgot it was releasing this weekend.
Yeah, super good, dude. First
Yeah, I can't
episode is
wait.
great.
Wait, so unfortunately, I never watched Chucky when it first aired on TV, and with now season 3 recently dropping, I was like, fuck it, I'll check out season one. And man, I cannot believe I've been missing this show out. This show is everything I like. It has some fucked up humor. Dourif, I don't can't really pronounce his last name, but he's back voicing Chucky, which I'm very happy because Mark Hamill didn't do a very good job as Chucky, even though he's a really good voice actor. It's just not that great for Chucky. So in this one, Jake's a middle schooler who finds Chucky at a yard sale and buys him for like $10. And of course, shit starts happening. Shit starts being weird everywhere. It's great. I love it. One scene they do a talent show where people think Chucky's a puppet and then Jake's voicing him, but fucking Chucky's just talking shit to everyone, just calling them out on everything, and everyone's cracking up because they think it's a fucking joke. No, this motherfucker's really just talking shit to you to your face. It's hilarious. I can't wait for this. I'm definitely going to be checking it out. It's a dope for me.
And then we also got the finale for Ahsoka this week on Disney Plus. The whole season's really good, but with Ray Stevenson, his character of Balin's a complete standout to me. He does an awesome job. I mean, they did have to change the ending, obviously, after his passing, which is kind of a bummer because, like I said, he's a standout character in this series. I think if you saw Rebels, you would like this show a lot, or Clone Wars, to see more of Ahsoka and everything. I'm not a person who did that, so it's just going to get an eye from me. But I think if you were a fan of Rebels, you're going to love this show and definitely give it a dope. I mean, it does a good job of introducing some different concepts to Star Wars that a lot of basic fans wouldn't really even have any idea of, including myself. Like, I learned some new shit. I would definitely watch a season two if they came out with one, but I'm going to give it an eye with a leaning towards a dope if you're a huge Star Wars fan.
I was going to say leaning more towards a nope for that one.
Nah, it's still an eye leaning to dope, but if you were a fan of Rebels, I think you're going to just love this.
No, okay. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
But a prequel for Stephen King's Pet Cemetery released on Prime over the weekend. I can't lie, I didn't know this movie was a prequel at all while I was watching it. Throughout the whole time I was watching it, I was like, the main character, his name is Judd, and I kept thinking, I'm like, damn, that name sounds very familiar. I'm like, Judd sounds very familiar in this whole story outline. Turns out Judd in this film is a younger version of the old man in the original 1989 Pet Cemetery, who's also named Judd, and I was just like, fuck, that name sounds familiar. Turns out it's him. It's been so long that I forgot the names. No major cast members except David, what's his name from Californication?
Duchovny.
Duchovny. There we go. I was thinking Dick Butkus.
A
So
football
David
player.
Duchovny. Yeah. Pam Greer's in this movie as well. And Henry Thomas, but you probably know him more as the kid from E.T. So David Sons returns from Nam, and right away he's a weird kid. Turns out he was dead, and he fucking buried him in the soil, which was a horrible idea. What I do like about this is that we do get a lot of like the backstory of how the town of Ludlow became, like why things are like why people come back to life and start attacking people. It's pretty cool. I think if you've seen the first one, this one's just alright. If you've seen the reboot of it from 2019, this is gonna be a dope. This is a lot better than that last shitty one they made. If for a horror film, I think it's just an alright as well. But compared to the last one, this is a dope. I really enjoyed this one compared to the last one. Check it out if you like. It's on, I believe, Paramount Plus.
And then Luis covered the Continental First episode a couple weeks ago. So now it's finally come to an end. They don't say Frankie as much as in these last two episodes, thank
I
God.
wonder why.
But it was really cool to see Winston taking over the hotel. And then like in the last episode, we really get to see him meet Sharon and like build their relationship. Um, I do have like one complaint about this series is I don't think the guy who plays Winston could pull off the suaveness of Winston. Like Ian McShane is so cool in the John Wick movies, and he has such a great voice, and he just never really has that in this series. I mean, still, it's got great action. The action in it is not disappointing if you're a John Wick fan. You got to enjoy that still. Um, I'm gonna give this a dope. I think if you enjoy John Wick stuff, you're gonna like this. It's definitely like it's good. It's good. It's cool to see like Winston take over and all this shit. Just the guy's not that good as Winston. Um,
Mm.
it does make me think though that the John Wick universe would be better left to just leave John dead and let's just do spin-off stuff because there's so many different crazy characters you could build around that why not just let's kind of move on. The
Yeah.
only way I want another John Wick movie, and we've talked about it on this show before, I want him to have to fight through hell. I want him to have to fight through hell to get to heaven to be with his wife. That's the only way I want a John Wick 5. Otherwise, let's just stick to the spin-offs. But this show is going to be a dope.
That would be fucking cool though, especially after that scene in the last movie with the dragon's breath shotgun. Imagine
Dude,
that in hell.
just have him fighting demons. You already have a built-in story. Do the 7 levels of hell. Fucking fight up to heaven. Be with his wife. End of story. You know.
Keep fighting on stairs.
Yeah, stairs up to heaven. It's
Right,
literally then
right.
you can play Stairway to Heaven. Oh, and the other thing about the, Continental, great music choices. They have some of the best needle drops I've heard in a while in a
Yeah.
show. It's definitely a playlist that's gonna be going off in my car pretty frequently now.
It's not the same as the first John Wick though. You remember that fucking was it, that
Oh, like
one
Red Circle?
techno beat that we kept playing all the time?
Well, dude, this one's more like actual songs and not just
Oh,
like
yeah,
techno
this is
stuff, you know?
what, like, the 80s?
I think 70s, yeah.
70s? Yeah, so that bangers back
Yeah,
then, dude.
exactly.
Yeah. But okay, what can I say about Slaughterhouse? I mean, it's a movie about a sloth killing girls in a fraternity. This shit is crazy. The people that made this weren't even trying to be serious, which was the route to go because they took the idea and just fucking ran with it. I mean, the kills are over the top and hilarious. The sloth is fucking funny. Or he or she, I don't remember if it's a girl or female sloth, but the sloth makes a social media account and starts taking selfies with his victims and uploads them under the name of Killer Sloth. And he puts hashtags like hashtag last selfie. That's fucking funny. I don't know who the sloth. I don't know how the sloth knows how to read or how it can even comprehend words or letters. But it's typing shit. It's looking up directions to places. It fucking steals a sports car and just smashes down the road and gets into a cop car chase. It's hilarious. This movie is so bad, it's great. It's a nope technically because it's a shitty
It's so
movie,
bad.
but it's a dope, dude. This movie's sick. It's hilarious.
So Amazon released a new slasher film starring Kiernan Shipka, who most people know her as Sabrina from the Netflix series. So it's after the infamous Sweet 16 killer returns to claim a new victim after 35 years. Our main character travels back in time and ends up back in 1987. Now she's trying to stop the killer before he even gets started. I mean, this movie is actually a lot of fun. It's a solid teenager like slasher flick. There's some good comedy in it. Having her travel back in time and interact with like the younger versions of her parents and their friends is actually good. Overall, it's a solid movie. Like it's actually a good October like slasher film that kind of fun. You know, it's lighthearted, but it's got the good slasher stuff to it. It's definitely gonna get a dope from me.
I wanted to see it. She looks hella funny. It's Back to the Future with the killer.
Exactly.
That's
It's
what it
good.
is.
It's a
Yeah.
solid it's a solid movie.
It looks fun. I'm gonna have to watch that soon. But Exorcist Believer is finally out, and I gotta say, I really did enjoy this one. So two girls go missing in the woods and they come back 3 days later, and of course things start to change. They start acting differently and they start having different like physical appearances. And as usual, the parents and doctors think it can be fixed just with medicine and testing and shit. But no, it's all possession movies. You can't fix a demon possession with fucking Norcos and shit. You
Mm.
can't do that shit. So the mom from the first Exorcist does reprise her role in this one, which is pretty cool. On like the reasons that she came back, she's always been offered to come back in the other movies that she never wanted to, and she said it herself. She only came back for the money, but all the money she made, she did donate to I think a charity she's part of, which is pretty cool to do. She made nothing from this; she gave everything away. But this movie is it's a fun movie. Of course, all the good stuff happens like at the very end. Like you do have creepy things in the middle, but all the whole ending is just very creepy. I do gotta say though, the girls looked a little weird to me. One of them looks like she had an allergic reaction and just had a poofed up face. The other one looked like she just got jumped and beat up. None of them were. They looked creepy, but not as creepy as the original Exorcist girl. I believe her name is Reagan, played by Linda Blair. Well, it's pretty you can't really touch the original Exorcist. But funny thing though, the director of this movie is a guy that did the trilogy for the new Halloween movie, and this is going to be a trilogy as well, which is fucking hilarious because the original director spoke to someone. I think he spoke to a movie critic, and he mentioned that this man that made Pineapple Express is going to touch one of my movies, The Exorcist. He's like, I swear, if there is a spiritual plane where I can go and haunt him when I die. He's like, I will haunt him for the rest of his life, which is fucking funny. Well, it's not funny because he did just recently pass away, but he also did direct a recently movie that got released, the Kane Court Mutiny or some shit like that. Which I gotta say, I watched a little bit of it. shit movie. Couldn't do it. But this one's gonna get a dope for me. There's not that many like jump scares in this. Of course, there are a couple, but it's still creepy, still good. Can't wait to see what they do with the next one. But we have some deep cuts. We're gonna keep it with a little bit of the horror for Halloween.
Yeah, we're kind of doing like a children's horror setup. So for my pick this week, I'm going with The Haunted Mansion, which is actually it's a new movie and not really a deep cut, but nobody saw it in theaters and it's actually deserving of being seen. It's a solid movie, you know, it's a great introduction to horror for kids for sure. I mean, it's got a great cast for the adults. You really feel like they took a good amount of the pieces from the ride and turned it into the movie, which is like what you need to do with this kind of thing. I enjoyed it. Jessica enjoyed it. If you have kids that are interested in horror, I would definitely like this is a good place to start. If they like this, then maybe you can start moving on from there. But it's on Disney Plus now, so why not give it a shot?
Start with Haunted Mansion, then jump up to the thing.
Yeah, exactly.
For
Actually,
my
I would
deep
start with your deep cut and then go to Haunted Mansion and then go to something else.
Yeah. All right. So my deep cut, it's a little bit of a big deep cut for me just because it's been so long since I've seen this.
Mhm.
I'm picking Don't Look Under the Bed. This was from Disney back then where they would release a movie. I believe I don't know if it was every Friday or a one Friday out of the month. They
Something
would
like that.
air yeah, I think it's like once a month because I mean once a week, that's a shit ton of
Mhm.
fucking movies they got to do. But so they would release a new movie once a month on Fridays, and I would always look forward to this. And this one, Don't Look Under the Bed, was one of my favorites. It's up there with the 13th year. If you've seen those movies, you should know which one the 13th year is, but this one was great. As a kid, looking at it now, it's probably not scary, but for me as a kid, this shit was fucking terrifying, but I loved it. It's probably what got me into horror. But in
Mhm.
this one, a girl gets help from an imaginary friend named Larry Houdini to help her deal with the prankster boogeyman, where he's been fucking with her, like doing all these pranks to people, and she's the one catching all the slack for it. But it's a good movie. It's funny. There are some creepy factors to it. Disney used to release some bangers, and this was one of them. This was great. It is streaming on Disney Plus. If you guys do have Disney Plus, check it out. But once again, thanks for stopping by, customers. If you've seen any of these movies or want to do any comments, let us know the topics we brought up. Let us know down in the comments. Make sure you guys like and subscribe.
Smart House was the good one.
Smart House, dude, that one was sick.
And Look of the Irish, those were good.
Dude, look, yeah, see, they had some bangers back
They
then,
did.
dude. Is Randy still recording?